So good morning guys, and today we're going to discuss about the Docker. So what is meant by Docker? Hello. So what is meant by Docker?
No idea.
I explained you right many times. Satish, what about your Docker? Docker, it is a container. What it is?
Container.
So Docker, it is a container. What it is? It is a
Container.
container. So what are the advantages of the Docker?
Build, test, and deploy application quickly.
So what are the advantages? So generally, Docker, it is a container. You know that, right? So container contains a different, for example, in the shipyards, you have the containers, right? Just a
Yes.
moment. Hello.
Yes, Satish. Yes, Sanjay.
Yes, sir.
So actually, you know, in the shipyards, you'll have the containers, right? You will have the big containers. In the containers, you'll have the belongings of a different customers, right? Will it belongs to the only the single customer?
No.
No.
Different customer.
It's like there are multiple things will be there, right? Multiple belongings will be there, right? Yes or no? Multiple parcels will be there, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
The same
Yes.
thing here also, the same concept we are using here. Docker, it is a container. Means basically why you're using this Docker is nothing but to implement microservices, to implement microservices, as well as to avoid version difference, to avoid version difference. First, we discuss about the microservices. What is meant by microservices? In the Java, we are using the microservices, right? What is meant by microservices?
Uh,
For example, we are dividing the large application into the small application is nothing but
Microservice.
microservices. You can take like big application. What is a big application? For example, you can take like what do you mean, like you can take like Amazon. Amazon is a big application, right?
Yes.
In the Amazon, not only we are doing the e-commerce, displaying the products, adding the products to the cart, making the payment, tracking the delivery. You can make the utility bills. You can do the recharge. You can book the bus tickets. You can book the train tickets. Yes or no?
Yes.
Just a moment. Why it is not getting charged? So there are number of services are there. For example, you can see the Amazon here. You can do that. You can do the Amazon Pay, right? Yes or no? There are many options are
Yes.
available in the Amazon. So to implement the microservices means we're dividing the large application into
Small.
Small application.
microservices means dividing
Large application to small application.
large application into small applications. What is the advantages of using the microservices?
If
If
there is
one,
an
yeah, if there is any issue in one service,
yes,
it is not going to affect for the other services.
yes,
For example, if it
Okay.
is issue in the tracking the delivery, it won't affect the making the payment. If it is a issue in the making the utility bills, it won't be affecting the booking the bus tickets or Google Pay. Got it? Amazon Pay. Got it? So
yes,
that's the reason we are using the microservices. Means we are dividing the large application into the small application, and for every application you have to allocate the RAM and memory, right? For every application you need the operating system. Yes or
yes,
no? But
Yes.
if you have the
Yes, sir.
operating system, definitely you need to have the VM. If you need the VM, definitely you have to allocate the RAM and memory. Guys are able to follow me?
yes,
You can see here.
Yes, sir.
Virtual machine versus VM versus container. VM versus container. You can see that. You can see here. For every application, for example, displaying the products, displaying the products, making the payment, and tracking the delivery. Right? For every application, we need the operating system. If you need the
yes,
operating system, we need to have the virtual machine. If you have the virtual machine, you have to assign the RAM and memory. Yes or no? For example, if I'm allocating 4
Yes,
GB
sir.
RAM or 1 TB hard disk, will I'm using completely 4 GB RAM and 1 TB hard disk?
no,
For example, my computer is there. I'm having like 500 GB hard disk. Will I'm using the complete 500 GB hard disk here?
no,
No.
For example, I'm having the 8 GB RAM. Will I'm using the complete 8 GB RAM now?
no,
No.
You can't using that, right? So no, we can't use that. Simply you're
Yes.
wasting the money here. For example, here 4 GB RAM, here 4 GB RAM, here 100 GB hard disk. So that's the reason we are using the containers. So containers is not going to be allocate any RAM and memory. We are have only one operating system. This container engine is going to take in the runtime. Okay, got it? Is it clear?
yes,
Yes, sir.
And one more thing. So simply we can say that Docker is a container. Basically, we are using to implement the microservice. Microservices is nothing but, so we are dividing the big application to small application. If you are having the small application, for every application you need to have the operating system. If you have the operating system, we need to allocate the RAM and memory. So we are not completely not using the we are not completely using the RAM and memories, right? So that's the reason we are using the Docker. Docker, it is going to take the RAM and memory in the runtime. Got it? It's clear.
yes, yes, sir.
Next, to
Yes, sir.
avoid the version
Yes, sir.
difference. What is it? To avoid
Version.
version difference. So what is the version difference? We have a different environments. What are the environments we are having? What are the environments we are having?
Development testing.
Dev environment, QA environment,
Prod
production
environment.
environment,
Production.
prod environment, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Dev environment, QA environment, and prod environment. So generally, who is a developer? The person who writes the code, right? Yes or no? So
yes,
he was having some user story. For example, the user story is creating the login page. So what the developer do, he will write the code based on the user story to get the necessary output, right? He will use the different extensions or different versions or different tools, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So is that the same environment and same operating system has to be used by by testing environment, production environment? Yes or no? Whatever the operating system in your computer will be the same operating system or same applications has been installed in my computer.
Yes.
Will it
Yes.
no? May or may not be, right? Yes or no? Maybe the
Yes.
different version or different application or different environment, right? The application is working in the dev environment, but it is not working in the testing environment and production environment. Are you able to follow me? When you deploy this
Yes, sir.
application, it working in the dev environment. It is not working in the testing
Testing.
environment, production. Maybe whatever the applications or what are the tools or what are the extensions used by the developer may be different from the applications on environment present in the test environment and production environment. Are you able to follow me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
To avoid this, they are using the Docker. Let me explain you Docker architecture. Yeah. 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 So here you're going to have the Docker image. What is that?
Docker image.
Docker image, and we'll have the Docker file also. So generally you're going to have the Docker file. What is that? Docker file.
File.
This Docker files, yeah. So we are going to create a Docker image. Okay. Why I'm not getting the correct picture actually? Hmm. Yeah, but it's not showing the correct instructions. So you're going to have the Docker file. What you're having here?
Docker file.
Docker file. And we are going to create a Docker image. So what is going to have this Docker image? This Docker image contains the code written by the developer as well as supporting files which are required to run this application. Are you able to follow me? What I told here right now, what are the code written by the developer may or may not be the same environment using by the testing team and production team, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So what we are going to do, we are going to create a Docker image. What is it? Docker?
Docker.
Docker image.
What is the Docker
Image.
image? Docker image contains the code written by the developer as well as supporting files to run this application. Got it?
Yes, Sandeep.
Guys are able to follow me?
Yes, Sandeep.
So Docker file will be there. Using the Docker file, we are going to create a Docker image. Docker, it contains all instructions to create image. Any doubts here? Any
No,
doubts
Sandeep.
here?
No, Sandeep.
So
No, Sandeep.
this will have the Docker file. Using the Docker file, we are going to create a Docker image. From the Docker image, we are going to push this Docker image to the Docker Hub. What is it?
Docker Hub.
Docker Hub. So Docker Hub is just like our Azure repo, right? We have the Azure repo, GitHub is there, right? So where we are
Yes.
going to store our code or application.
Yes.
In the same way, this Docker Hub contains all the images. What you're going to have? You're going
All
to
the
have the Docker images. Any doubts here?
no, Sandeep.
When this testing team or production team push this, when the testing team and production team pull the image, Docker image from Docker Hub, right? They'll get the code as well as supporting files to run the application.
Yes.
They're getting both the things, right? So when they have the supporting files, that application is going to work in the testing environment as well as in the
Production.
production environment. It's clear?
Yes, Sandeep. Clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any
Yes,
doubts
Sandeep.
here? You can see this image. We have the Docker files. Based on the Docker files, what we are going to create here?
Docker image.
image. Then pushing this, we are going to push the images to the Docker Hub.
Docker Hub or Dockerist.
Then the images will be pulled by the testing team and production team.
Production.
Let's install the Docker. Any doubts here? Docker is nothing but a container. We are going to have the multiple applications to implement the microservices and avoid the version difference. Clear?
Version difference. Yes,
Got it?
Sandeep.
I'm going to create a virtual machine. I'll go with portal.azure.com. I'm going to create a virtual machine. And the resource group name or Azure training. Next, thanks, and finally review and create. Then you have to create a virtual network. Create a virtual network. And the virtual network name is Azure Training VNet. Next 10.10.0.16. Azure training. Submit 10.10.1.0/24. Click on save. Next, thanks, and finally review and create. I'm going to create a virtual machine. Create Azure virtual machine. And the resource group name is Azure course, Azure training. And the virtual machine name is, you can give any name. And just give the Docker. East US availability zone no infrastructure. Security type standard. You can take anything. I'm just taking the Ubuntu. 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM. Password, I'll give the username is India. Password is data 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, data 1 2 3 4 5 6. In the ports, HTTP, HTTPS. Next disk. Standard SSD. Next networking. Next management. Next monitoring. Disable. Next advanced. Thanks, and finally review and create. Hello.
Yes, Sandeep.
Actually, power issue is there. Okay, I just create the image. Okay, I'll just explain up to here. I'll just create the image. Something is missing. What happened? Previous review and create.
Showing basics.
Unique, okay. Linux machine. Anything is fine. Next is can finally.
It's not accepting Docker name.
I mean that that name is existing in that actually.
Okay.
It's not a problem. And you people create an account in the Docker Hub, okay? Hello?
Okay, Sandeep.
Yeah.
Create account
Okay,
in
sir.
Docker Hub. So the website may be hub.docker.com. So create account in the hub.docker.com. Sign in. Continue. So this is a website. Got it? You can see all the images here, right? Yes or no? Repositories and everything. Guys, are you able to follow me?
Yes, Sandeep.
Yes.
Oh, Docker also created, yeah. It's already created, okay? That's the
Okay.
reason it is not taken, okay? I'll just copy and just log in into the Docker. I'll just go with the putty. Login as India. Password is India one two three four five six. Right click, change settings, appearance change. Got it? Install Docker in
Ah,
Ubuntu. So if you want to install Docker in Ubuntu, you have to go to the Google and search for the install Docker in Ubuntu, and you can follow all these things. Okay, got it?
Yes, Sandeep.
But I have a simple method. You can follow this, or first you need to update it, right? Sudo su hyphen so apt update -y. So this is Docker, right? Sudo su hyphen so Ubuntu, right? Yes or no? Apt
Yes.
update -y. So we are going to update We are updating, right? Yes or no? Now, what I'm going to install means apt install unzip tar. You know that, right? Duplicate. I think so. We don't require all these things. Yeah. So curl means you're going to download from URL https get.docker.com. Okay. So generally you can go with get.docker.com. You'll have all the script to install the DockerInc for installation. Are you able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, Sandeep. Yes, Sandeep.
So you have the complete script to install. This is the website https get.docker.com. So curl curl means you're going to get the complete image here and sh install field. Curl https get dot. Yeah, it's working. sh. Yeah, now it is getting installed. Are you able to follow me? Curl
Yes, sir.
okay, or sh2 executing. Okay.
Okay.
Now you can see that it is installing. If you just give like curl get.docker.com, it is going to show all the script. If you want to install, then what you have to do, curl https.com, right? Now it is installed. If you want to get the Docker image, Docker -- version. Yes or no? It's showing the Docker version, right?
Yes.
Docker -. version. Any doubts here? If you just give the curl.docker.com, so it is going to show the script. Just show the script. It's going to show the complete script here. You can see here.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
It's just going to show the script. If you want to execute, you have to give like sh.
Okay.
Any doubts here?
No.
No, sir.
And try to do install in the Red Hat and Kali Linux also. Try it. Okay. I have a power issue. Tomorrow we can continue. Okay.